Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back for a little Car Tuesday action. And for the first Tuesday in a long time, really since I started my channel here, I'm not going to be doing anything Steven Universe related. Went through 5 seasons of that show, wrapped up, did the preview, the trailer for the film that's coming out soon. Last Car Tuesday, go check that out if you haven't already. But today I'm starting a new series. Midway through the series a little bit, I'm doing Legend of Korra Season 2, Episode 1 reaction. So, just to give a little background here, I've seen all of Korra Season 1, so I'm not going to rewatch and re-react to it. And I've actually seen the episode I'm going to react to today, and I believe the one following, but after that I fell off of it and haven't watched it, so I don't know any spoilers or anything like that from further on. I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender maybe about 4 or 5 years ago now at this point. Really loved it. You know, I hadn't watched it initially when it came out. I was in college when it came out, or high school, college, so it wasn't really on my radar at all. Then I guess through word of mouth and things like that, I heard it was a really good series, watched it, loved it, and I've actually watched it back several times through other people's reaction channels, you know, watch the series again that way. And that's part of what even got me interested in doing and watching other reaction channels and then starting to do it myself. So Avatar, I think, is pretty much a masterpiece of storytelling. I really love it. And when I initially finished it, I knew that Korra was there then, so I started watching it. Watched season 1, enjoyed it for the most part, and then I don't know exactly what happened with season 2, but after watching what I think is the first 2 episodes, definitely at least the first one, I just kind of fell off. I don't, like I said, really know exactly why I did. There are a couple things from the beginning of the season here. Maybe I'll reevaluate them right now with this season 2 episode 1 reaction or rewatching it, but there were a couple things that I can remember that I didn't love about how the season was getting set up, so that might be part of why I fell off a little bit and then just didn't come back. But no, I'm kind of glad that I didn't come back because I get to do it on the channel here, and then other than this and the next episode will be fresh reactions. So it had been several years then since I watched the season 1 of Korra and the start of season 2, so I went back this past week and watched the reactions from the Normies channel for the season 1 of Korra, so to get caught up again, remember what's going on in the story. Shout out to them, not that they need it, I don't think, but that's one of the reaction channels I enjoy, so I watched the reactions of it, got pretty much caught back up to speed, started to remember everything, and remember a lot of the stuff that I liked a lot from season 1, and a lot of it was, well, just how the story, like, kind of, I guess there's 4 seasons of Korra, but 12 episodes each, I believe. At least season 1 had 12, whereas Avatar was 3 seasons with 20 episodes, so they had a little less time to work with season-wise, but I did like how it ramped up quickly, especially toward the back half of the season. The stuff with the Tarlok character and his brother, we find out the main villain from season 1, or they're kind of the 2 villains, or antagonists at least, and the whole bloodbending and all that was good stuff. I like in general the tone of Korra. It's definitely a little more mature. It's dealing with more political issues and issues of the modern world. I guess now it's kind of like in a 30s style with Republic City and all that, but it opens it up for more issues between different factions. It's not black and white anymore. Evil Fire Lord versus the Aang, the good, and all that stuff. So I like the little references they made to the Avatar. They didn't hammer it too much. I don't know if they'll do that more. I'm sure we'll get some more of it as the seasons progress here, so I'm looking forward to that if we do. Yeah, and just because I think, you know, the character of Korra is a little bit older than Aang, obviously, from Avatar, so, and I'm assuming that they kind of moved it up like that because of the audience they're going for as well, with Nickelodeon, I guess, was getting older. They watched Avatar initially when it came out. They're a little older now, so it does open it for more mature storylines, a kind of darker thing. I mean, the end of like Tarlok and Noatak is pretty dark. He basically blows them up on the thing and all that. I don't know if they explicitly showed any. All the death was implied, I think, in season 1 Korra, but it's still clearly there in some parts. So I like all that stuff. I'm interested to see where that goes. I didn't as much care for the kind of love triangle teen romance stuff that was prevalent in season 1, and if I can remember from the first 2 episodes of season 2, I think it's still going to be around. Although that wasn't where I had the initial issue, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, I guess that goes with the territory a little bit as well, because of the age of the character. They're kind of teens and stuff, so it's kind of like a push and pull, because on one hand, with the older characters and possibly older audience of the show, intended audience, you can have, you know, more mature storylines, and in some respect, like people, the kids or whoever, will be able to understand a little bit more different non-black and white issues. But also they maybe want more kind of the, I guess, romance stuff, or like the teen drama stuff as well, so which wasn't really around much at all in Avatar. So I don't know, we'll see where it goes. But so far, I mean, I don't want to just compare it too much to Avatar 2, but I like most of the characters in Korra so far. Not as much as those, even though I just said I don't want to compare. I am going to, I guess, but you know, they obviously have to grow on me a little bit still. But clearly, you know, Korra is more of and I know season 2 is going to deal with the spirit aspect as well, and the end of season 1 did a little bit. Aang was more spiritual, and she's more like gung-ho, like dive right into it, more of like the fist than, that's how she wants to jump into solving problems. That's why she had trouble with airbending throughout season 1 until then, where she was able to do it when she lost the other bending stuff. And with the whole bending thing, you know, I talked about kind of political issues and things like that, but just the whole, now that bending is so prevalent in the world, how it is now, there's people anti-benders, obviously, and it sets up, you know, the divide between people who essentially have powers and those who don't. And that's what season 1 was chiefly about. I think season 2 is going to be more on the spiritual angle, because she is getting training like that. What I remember not liking about how season 2 is set up, and again, I'll see if I feel differently right now, but I didn't love how I guess I just didn't love the story they're completely setting up. Like, I know there's an uncle character that gets introduced, her uncle. He's clearly getting set up to be the main antagonist of the season. So I don't know why I don't like that, or if I didn't like it at the time. Maybe just like, I feel like it's too convenient or something. Like, also because it seems now Korra is and I'll refresh my memory again by watching this, but it seems like Korra is then also, her father is like the chieftain or tribe leader of the northern or southern water tribe. I know the uncle's from one and the dad's the other. I'm not sure if that's a retcon from season 1, because I do seem to remember, I thought the Korra was just like a random person from the village, like it wasn't like the daughter of like the chief or whatever. And I liked that better. Like, I didn't want it necessarily to be like an important person anyway, kind of, which I guess she always has been. So I don't know if that was a retcon or not when they want to get the season 2 storyline going with the uncle and stuff. But I guess with just that whole setup, I was like, I didn't love the choices there. I don't know if I'm explaining myself why I don't like it. And I don't even know if I ultimately will still feel that way. But that's kind of what I thought with the start of season 2. So I'm going to rewatch the start right now, stop my yammering, and then continue on each week with a new episode of season 2, then 3 and 4. So let's get into it. Alright, so that was season 2, episode 1. I remembered a lot of it. Some things I didn't really remember at all. I didn't remember exactly the setup with the spirits attacking, but then it started to come back to me. I definitely remembered the uncle, I guess, Unalak, with his whole northern stuff. We need to be back in tune with the spirits, all of that. And it does set up a little bit of an interesting dichotomy with maybe going too far one way with we need to get back to the basics, like forget the technology, whatever it is, our culture's gone awry, we need to be back in tune with the spirits. Then juxtaposed with maybe going too far the other direction with the rich merchant guy, and I forget his name, but I didn't remember that whole part. But I do like it. It was some funny stuff there with Asami and the merchant and Bolin and all that. But you see him coming in obviously with going too far the other direction, maybe with just being ultra capitalist or whatever. So I see what they're setting up there. Like I've been saying, I believe the next episode is the last one that I watched. I can't remember for sure if it's revealed that Unalak is villainous in that one, or he's the one causing the spirits to come attack just to get I don't remember exactly why, to be Korra's teacher, to get her, get the Avatar back on his side for whatever he wants to do. I don't remember if it's explicitly shown in that. I'll find out next week, or if I was just getting that feeling. Like, I'm pretty sure he is clearly, even with this one, you could tell from the setup. I guess maybe you can't completely tell with this one whether he's just, whether he's completely villainous, some other plot, or it was just to become the Avatar's teacher. But you can see the setup already happening in this one. And yeah, I think that maybe that the first time I watched it, I left a little bit of bad taste in my mouth about how she just dismisses Tenzin after all this stuff from season 1. Like, I get it, it's in her character somewhat, but she is kind of brash, and like, I think it is telling that she's never been into the spiritual side, and then now she sees her uncle like defeat it like that, that's when she's like, oh, now she wants to she was already getting annoyed with Tenzin, but when she sees the uncle fight it, like, that's like on her level now. She wants to get more in touch with the spirits rather than visiting air temples, whatever. I get that, and I do like that element of it, her character, but I do feel like, yeah, some of this stuff is a little forced, I think, and obviously I'll see where it goes in the season. I'm excited to see where it goes, but some of the setup for what I see the drama is a little forced, I think, and I think it's mostly, yeah, I really don't love how, I'm not sure if it is a complete retcon or not, but I don't love how she's like the daughter / niece of two kind of like the chiefs of the southern and northern tribe. I don't really think it's needed. Again, we'll see where it goes, but it could just be, I mean, they could, she's the Avatar, so she doesn't need to be already like born into this family. She could just be, they would both want to counsel her anyway, and it could just be that setup. Like, I grew up in the southern tribe. I have somewhat of a relationship with the leader, and now this northern guy comes in, and you could still have the drama with Tenzin and all that, dismissing him and doing this whole thing. So I don't know. I feel like the writers wanted to have the storyline maybe with the two brothers too, and this whole family dynamic. That we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited to see more about Tenzin and his family. I like Boomy and the sister, whose name I can't recall, but I like them so far. For sure, I want to see more. Always good to see Katara in there. And the kids are pretty funny too. And yeah, with the relationship stuff, I don't know. Mako is clearly in a tough spot, having to figure out what to say to her. And it is relatable to some extent, but it's not my favorite thing ever. We'll see. I don't remember. I think, obviously, they're setting something up with the Unalaq's, twin children for Bolin to get involved in there. And yeah, we'll see where the Asami stuff goes with I guess getting her family business back on track. I don't know, is she just taking over the business because their dad's in jail or whatever, I guess? Is that how that works? Guess so. But yeah, I like her a lot, so I want to see more stuff with her. The humor is still pretty good in this one. Animation's good, obviously. Fighting and everything. Action looks cool, so yeah. The issues when I initially watched this were still kind of there for me, but I'm going to see where it goes. And I'll be back next time for Season 2, Episode 2. So do join me back for that one next Tuesday, next Korra Tuesday. Leave some comments for me there. Tell me what you think. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.
I'm gonna take